Hey, what's up? Um, Today I want to talk about my a mental health issue that I've had lately. Um, as far as I can remember, I think it all started when I was about I felt it more intensely when I was around maybe 17 years old. If I have to put like an age on it, um, I used to have suicidal thoughts. Um, I started smoking weed, by the way, when I was 17. I think I was 17 or 18. Yeah, I was 17. And being on weed made me overanalyze a lot of things in my life. It made me overanalyze, maybe not overanalyze, but it made me think about who I was, the life I was living, my past, more than anything. The things that I hadn't healed and from my past were being brought up in the present moment, and it made me think a lot about it. And so I remember I used to have suicidal thoughts. Um, it was really hard for me to accept my reality. It was really hard for me to confront my reality because I wanted to avoid it and I wanted to run away. I wanted to consume and just, you know, go into this fantasy land where I really didn't have to deal with my reality. Um, so yeah, for a while I thought I had depression. I self-diagnosed myself with depression. So when I was in rehab, um, I was actually no. Before rehab, I was taking therapy with a psychologist. Is psychologist even a word in English? Because it's a word in Spanish. Psicólogo. Psych. Oh, oh, oh. The government doesn't want me to investigate. The government doesn't want me to research. The government doesn't want me to be intelligent. Just kidding. Psychologist. What the fuck? I never heard that shit before. Psychologist. Yeah, it is a word. Okay. Thought so. Why am I doubting myself? Anyway. Oh, that's just shine. Okay. So I was taking therapy, and my therapist told me that I had depression. So she prescribed me some antidepressants. They were making me feel like shit. I think this is normal with antidepressants. At first, when you start taking them, you kind of feel really down. You kind of feel low energy. You feel sleepy, and you may even feel a little bit more depressed, uh, which is kind of ironic because they're supposed to make you feel good. Well, I didn't know that that was like the initial. Um, those were the initial symptoms when you first start taking antidepressants. So I just stopped taking them, which I didn't know how bad that was for me because I needed them. Anyway, fast forward, I was doing therapy. I was taking therapy, but I was still smoking weed. I was on antidepressants. Um, I was complaining about my depression, but I didn't stop smoking weed. I never really realized how, for me, at least for me, my depression was only getting worsened by smoking weed. Um, so at this point, I was a chronic weed smoker. I would smoke like all day, every day, from waking hour to fucking the last minute that I fell asleep. I would fall asleep, and sometimes I would even wake up in the middle of the night just to bake a little bit, just to smoke a little bit. Um, and I never really saw how bad it was for me. So I didn't stop. I continued to smoke and I didn't really care. Um, so yeah, fast forward a little bit. I was interned in a rehab clinic for alcohol, weed, X. Um, and so in there, I was diagnosed with depression from an actual psychiatrist. So I was prescribed some antidepressants. They were different this time. I think they were the same, actually. They were the same as ones I was taking before. So I started taking these again. They made me sleepy. I really hated them. I didn't like to feel sleepy because already I feel like shit during the day. So to have to take these antidepressants and then have them make me feel shittier, then I didn't really like them. I didn't really want to feel lower than I already felt. So but it was necessary, so I kept taking them. I was in there for about 2 months, and I got out. Outside, I stopped taking them again because actually I got prescribed another antidepressant, and these didn't really make me feel bad. They kind of make me feel normal. They kind of made me feel normal, and so there wasn't really a problem with those. I just stopped taking them I forgot, and I made up the excuse that I couldn't afford them and they were too much money. They were kind of expensive, and I didn't really observe any like changes in my mood or in my like feelings. I was still feeling the same. I wasn't feeling like, you know, I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to say that it was because the antidepressants weren't working or because I wasn't getting enough sleep. There's a lot of things that contributed to me feeling bad, which were the lack of sleep, not leading the life that I wanted to live, um, not liking my reality. So I think all that contributed to the fact that I was still feeling depressed. Fast forward a couple months, I was out of rehab for maybe about 3 months, 3 or 4 months. I went back into rehab, not because I consumed anything, but because I had like an emotional fallback. I was feeling really depressed. I fell deeper into depression. I didn't follow any of the indications that the clinic had left me, So I went back to rehab. I was there for another month, 35 days. And I was never diagnosed with bipolar, but I got prescribed a medicine that is for people with bipolar disorder, bipolar mania, and I think it's not called bipolar mania. Sorry, let me. I don't want to give anybody false information. Bipolar mania. I don't even know what the fuck I have. Okay, so I think I have bipolar. Hold on. I need to investigate. Okay, so I don't know which bipolar disorder I have or don't have. I don't even know if I have bipolar disorder. The point is that I was prescribed medicine for bipolar disorder, and also it's medicine for people that have epilepsy. Epilepsy. It's Epival. In Spanish, the brand is Epival. It's valproato semisódico, which is, I think it's sodium valproate or semisodium no, it's sodium valproate. So valproic acid, valproic acid. And actually, I have a brother who has epilepsy, and he takes it for his seizures. So I thought that was really strange. And the thing is that while I was in rehab, this time that I was in rehab, I got prescribed this different medicine because I told the psychiatrist that the other medicine I didn't really like. Okay, first of all, I told her that I stopped taking the medicine in the first place to begin with because it made me feel like shit, and I just stopped taking it. And one of the reasons that I gave her as to why I stopped taking it was because I would get sleepy, and I was an Uber driver at the time, and I couldn't be driving while I was on these pills because they made me feel sleepy. I actually had one accident. It was mild. I had an accident where I fucking fell asleep and I crashed behind a fucking trailer. So, you know, that, and I didn't sleep for fucking 3 hours. So, you know, I'm fucking up. I know. But okay, I just told her that I just stopped taking them. I didn't want to fucking take antidepressants that made me feel like shit and that made me fucking feel sleepy. So she was like, okay, so we're gonna switch you to valproic acid, and she was like sodio semivalproato de magnesio. So, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna investigate right now because the whole time that I was, in rehab, this was in May. So in May when I was in rehab, I was told that I was taking valproato de magnesio. And she just told me that it was a mood stabilizer. It was an antidepressant that would make me sleepy during the night and it would keep me feeling good. It would stabilize my mood during the day. So that's what I was told by the nurse. And yeah, bitch, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna disrespect you. It's not your fault, but she was pretty much giving me false information because this shit does not make me feel sleepy during the night. It does not relax me at all. It does not help me at all to go to sleep. I actually have fucking trouble falling asleep. I'm not gonna say I have insomnia because, okay. Magnesium valproate is a fatty acid with anticonvulsant properties used in the treatment of epilepsy. Okay. Is the magnesium salt of valproic acid with antiepileptic and potential anti-neoplastic activities. Magnesium valproate dissociates in the gastrointestinal tract and is absorbed in the circulation as magnesium ions and valproic acid ions. Valproic acid may inhibit histone. Okay, so I'm not really sure if valproic acid is the same as valproic magnesium valproic. But in there, I thought I was taking valproic magnesium, and out here, it turns out that the medicine that I was prescribed was actually valproic acid. So to this day, I still don't know if this is the right fucking medicine, but okay, I'm just gonna trust what the paper says, and I think it's the same thing. I hope it's the same thing. If it's not, then I'm fucking up, and they fucked up, and they're fucking me up, and we're all fucked up. But alright, it's not making me feel like shit, so that's a good part, I guess. So when I first read that these pills were given to people with bipolar disorder and epilepsy, I thought, well, shit, this is some fucking strong, potent medicine. And I was like, well, what do I have bipolar disorder? Because they never told me that I had bipolar disorder. So just like I was just thinking, like, what the fuck. So then I started researching what bipolar disorder was, and I do identify with a lot of the symptoms. If I were to say that I do have bipolar disorder, which I'm not diagnosed with it because the psychiatrist never told me personally. She never told me that I do have bipolar disorder. She just said that I definitely do have depression. I'm not sure if you're allowed to give these to people with depression, but I did read that these stabilize your mood. So I expressed to the psychiatrist that I feel really good sometimes, and sometimes I feel really bad. And this can happen through the lapse of a couple of days, or through the lapse of within a day. I don't know if I said that right, but this can happen within a day, or it can take a couple of days for me to, I can be good one day, and I could be fucking feeling shitty the other day, or like maybe I could feel good 2 days, and maybe the next day, like, I have my ups and downs, you know, and maybe I can feel up and down throughout one whole day. And it's really strange because, like, maybe in the morning I'll wake up feeling good, you know, got my got my vibe going on and everything. And then like during the afternoon, I'm just feeling like fucking shit. Like I feel like everything irritates me, and I just want to fucking throw my phone against the wall if it doesn't respond to the way I want it to respond. If things don't go my way, I just want to fucking burst out and fucking scream and shit. Like it's really bad sometimes. And so, you know, I'm cool. Um, if this medicine helps me feel a little bit better, and I'm cool with it, you know. I really would, and I've been investigating, I've been researching a lot about bipolar disorder, depression. I've researched a lot back when I used to, you know, I definitely do have my depression, um, depression episodes, but now I'm really thinking about if I have bipolar disorder, if I have symptoms of bipolar disorder. You know, I really do believe that these disorders, these mental illnesses are diagnosed because, you know, you have to meet like a certain amount of symptoms for you in order for you to actually have that disorder. You know, I think it's on a physiological level and it's also on an emotional level. You know, of course, because if it's on a physiological level, then it's going to affect your emotions. So where the fuck was I going with this? Like I start rambling and I lose my train of thought. I don't even know where the fuck I was going with that. But anyway, um, I do notice that when I don't get enough sleep, which I don't, like I love to stay up during the night. I don't know why. I just, you know, it's not very productive at all, and it's really stupid. I do a lot of things that are unhealthy for me, but I do them anyway because I don't know. Like, isn't that just fucking just stupid? Like, I don't know if there's another word to describe that. Isn't that just fucking stupid that we humans, like, we know that things are bad for us, but we do them anyway. Like, if a dog were to know that fucking eating his own shit or licking his own piss was gonna get him sick and get him to throw up later, he's not gonna fucking do it. Like, if he knew what was good for him and what was bad for him, like, I don't think they would be doing it, you know? And it's so weird that us humans, being so intelligent, like, we just decide to just hurt ourselves and do things that are auto-destructive and toxic to our health and our fucking, just our health in general. Um, but, you know, I guess everyone's responsible for their own actions and the life that we lead. So, I mean, yeah. I got lost again, didn't I? Okay, I noticed that when I don't get enough sleep, I I'm miserable during the night. I mean, during the what the fuck? I I I've noticed that when I don't get enough sleep, I am miserable throughout the whole day. Like I'm just fucking irritable. I don't feel good. Sometimes I go into like a deep depression where I just don't want to fucking know about anything and I have suicidal thoughts. And last night I actually had 8 hours of sleep and I felt good. I felt pretty good throughout the whole day actually. I was in a good mood. Um, I was able to take on tasks, daily tasks, normally when I don't get enough sleep or when I oversleep, when I sleep more than fucking 9 hours, 10 hours at times, or 12 hours, then I just feel heavy. Like my body feels heavy. I feel low energy. Existence is just more dense. You know, everything just feels more dense, and it's almost unbearable. Where I can't take on daily tasks, and it's difficult for me. I complain about everything. Not that I complain about everything, but um, the things that I usually would do on a daily basis, I look at them in a different light when I am in this depressed mood, and I think everything just feels so heavy that it just becomes harder. It just becomes really harder because I think about it. And when I'm feeling okay, like when I'm feeling stabilized, I feel like, you know, I just kind of do things on automatic. Like I kind of have the energy to do things on automatic, and that's cool. So yeah, that was my little rant on everything. This is a 20-minute video. I don't know how the fuck this shit gonna save on my motherfucking laptop, but we gonna see how this shit gonna upload on YouTube. Okay.